Hey guys, I have to admit something. Honestly, I'm not sure this e-commerce thing is ever gonna work. When I first got the idea of starting like an e-commerce dropshipping store, I thought it would just like take me 2 weeks to get some sales in and get started. And here I am. I've been 1 month into this gig without a store, without like a suppliers, without even a US bank account registered yet, where to get the actual money. And and then guess what? I don't even know what kind of product I'm gonna sell. So like this is so frustrating for one specific reason, because like especially when you go on Instagram and you see all these like kids in drop shipping on Instagram with their laptops on their Lamborghinis, showing their Shopify screenshots of $1 million and more. That is like so frustrating because it actually takes a lot of more effort than it looks. My experience 1 month into this, forget all the stuff on Instagram, because this is the real world and things are much, much harder than they look. Coffee? With bulletproof coffee, you always feel much better. Let's go. So it took me more than 38 hours of work, but I finally have like a clear framework that I can share with you on how to find high-ticket dropshipping niches. So today I'll show you this framework. And trust me, it looks very simple and very basic, but it took me a lot of time to simplify it. Because I had to cut all the fluff and I had to really stick to what matters, because it's very easy to add all sort of metrics and stuff, but then at the end it becomes just more confusing. I'll also do something. I'll divide this framework in two parts. So the first part is this week and the next part is going to be next week, because otherwise I'll probably lose most of you, because there's a lot of stuff we need to cover. So finding your high ticket e-commerce niche really comes down to 6 critical elements. These 6 critical elements start with number 1, which is the price. Number 2 is the demand. Number 3 is the seasonality. Number 4 is brand loyalty. Number 5 is upper middle class appeal. Number 6 is your personal ethics. So let's start with number 1, the pricing. So obviously, because we're talking of like high ticket e-commerce niches, the pricing needs to be high, obviously. But what does high even mean? So it has to be at least above like $300 at minimum. So think of any expensive items here. Anything that costs more than $300, that's pretty good. Go on Google Shopping and check if the product is sold at least for $300. Otherwise, you'd be marketing to a lower niche. Second point, the demand. Once you've found the product at $300 or more, you need to make sure that you have enough demand. But how do you know if people actually want this product? So one way to do this is to use a tool called Uber Suggest and see the amount of searches on Google per month. And if the demand is more than 10,000, then you're good. The third point is seasonality. Once you have the demand locked down, you need to look into the seasonality. What does that mean? It means that your product needs to have constant demand all over the year. Dealing with seasonal products is very hard, because let's say you're selling beach umbrellas, then all you have is 2 months to make the total of your yearly sales. And imagine if you run into logistic issues. Crazy. So no beach umbrella for high ticket dropshipping, unless probably you're in Dubai. Brand loyalty. In order to dropship products, you need to make sure that these products don't have a strong brand name. And this is the fourth point. The niche itself shouldn't have 2 to 3 brands dominating the market. Let's think, for instance, of phones, smartphones. You can't really dropship an Apple phone, because Apple will never give you the permission to be a reseller, aka a dropshipper. Number 5, the product needs to be appealing to an upper middle class. One of my mentors once said, in business, whatever business you choose, make sure you don't target people that are either broke, and don't target people that are filthy rich, for a different reason, because both will give you a lot of headaches. And now I'm understanding, because now imagine selling a product of $10 to someone that has only like $30 extra for all known primary good items. And now they expect you to treat them like a king and have like a whole sort of like customer support and whatever, because now they're spending like 30% of their disposable income, which is a lot. And on the other side, let's say you're planning to sell this like $30,000 printer to someone that is filthy rich. I mean, rich people, you know, they've got butlers, they can get things in minutes, they have like drivers that's gonna respond to the call immediately, they have like personal assistants that will arrange everything for them. Like, all I wanna say is that rich people are used to like super high quality service and standard, and it requires a lot of tailored focus. So that's a headache, it requires a lot of time. So you need to find products that are appealing to the middle class, upper middle class, someone pretty much like myself, or maybe someone like yourself on the other side of the screen, that can actually buy like the latest iPhone but won't spend like $30,000 on a ski trip in the Swiss Alps, or buying a Ferrari Portofino. And then the last thing is personal ethics. I'm not saying you should be obsessed about your product, that you should be like, your product should be like the reflection of your passion, but at least you should not hate it. And that's very important. While I did the research last week, I was considering focusing on crossbows, and I realized that most of the people that would buy from me would be people that would be into hunting. And I hate the concept because I'm primarily vegetarian. So serving a smiling dude dressed in camouflage holding a poor dead reindeer with an arrow in his neck is not what I want to do with my daily life. So no crossbows. And while you're here, you should eat less meat because it's really bad for the planet. Next week, I'll show you the rest of the list to qualify a product. This was just like part number 1, and part number 2 is gonna come next week. In the meantime, I advise you to create a spreadsheet with all these elements like I did here, and listing and compile like all the niches with all the numbers, figures, linked to keep track of your selection. Last week, I've reviewed at least like 230 niches, and of them, I just retained 45 of them. So I hope this video was really helpful. I'm no YouTube expert. I'm just trying to share and document my journey, so you don't have to go through all the hassle I'm going through. I mean, I actually really wish that someone told me all these things before I would spend like 50 hours a week to figure them out. So stay tuned, my friend. I'm Nelio, and I am out.